हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग, वेलकम टू द स्पोर्ट्स डॉयन। मैं हूं कुशाग्र और आज मेरे साथ the OG team here, Anurag and Pratmesh, as we take a look at a cricketing calendar which has just started with a bang, hasn't it? कल के ही मैचेस की बात करें तो we, I mean, I'm sure both the panelists would agree, we saw two fantastic matches going right down to the wire, whether it was the Sri Lanka versus India match or it was the uh, England versus Pakistan final T20I that they played out,
Yep.
which in itself was a fantastic match, might I add. Uh, what a lovely way for us to actually head into a series wherein Hasib Hamid has scored runs against the Indian 11 for the county 11.
Yep.
A little bit of a flashback. There is cricket. There was cricket between South Africa and Ireland. We had cricket between Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. So it's been quite a fantastic week or 10 days of cricket for all of us. We are back. We've not been live for a while, and from now onwards, of course, we will be back. We'll hopefully be bringing you more content around more different things in the future. But before I start anywhere, I would genuinely like to have a look at you look at the all right. I'll have a look at the English squad that has been announced, and I'll come to you, Pratmesh, right after that. Uh,
This is
as you
nostalgia, right? We start and Masoom's for comment is first.
Yeah, of course, and that's why I'm pinning that up. Just so that everyone can see. Masoom's been kind enough. He's not only told us what all players they are, he's also told us कौन से county के लिए खेलते हैं, which is fantastic to be honest. As you can see, Joe Root is the captain. Anderson, Bairstow, Best, Broad, Burns, Butler, Crawley, Curran, Hamid, Hasib Hamid, जिनकी हमने बात की. Zach Crawley, Curran, Lawrence, Leach, Pope, Robinson जिनका comeback हुआ है. Chris Wokes, who is injured, he's expected to be back later in the series. But abhi first two test matches के लिए he's not there. Ben Stokes, Dom Sibley, and Mark Wood complete the squad there. So thanks for that, Masoom. But coming back to you, Pratmesh, looking at this English squad और जैसा अपना performance चल रहा है in this particular warm up in the county match, come against the county 11. Sorry. What do you make of it? What is your opinion going ahead into this particular series? And also, once you're done with that, could you just sum up what yesterday was?
Yesterday was pretty amazing because in the midst of all the international cricket, the first thing that really caught my eye was KL Rahul batting really well. I mean, if there was something that Indian fans would have been looking forward to, obviously the Indian win in Sri Lanka, I think we'd taken that for granted, and that is why this came as a surprise what happened yesterday. But I think more than anything else, what the Indian fans were hoping for is that, the batting that is there in England actually shows up. Quite some time with KL Rahul, with Ravindra Jadeja, with a different approach that Ravi Jadeja brought to his batting yesterday. It was really good to see that. So that was the best part of the day for me. Although yes, Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar and everything else was just, I mean, that was written in the stars in a way that two guys who've probably blossomed under Mahendra Singh Dhoni's captainship, in different ways. I think with Bhuvneshwar Kumar's international career started with MSD's captaincy, and with Deepak Chahar, it's been more to franchise cricket. But how those values of taking the game to the end, keeping your calm, and everything else kind of showed up on the day, and they pulled off something out of MSD's handbook, and with the way Deepak Chahar finished yesterday, that boundary itself, I think it kind of gives a proper throwback, doesn't it? So, I mean, a very good day yesterday for cricket fans. For people, I mean, even Stark's Pfeiffer today was quite brilliant, actually. So, there was quite some action that has been happening. Alex Carey played well for Australia. Stand-in captain, it seems like stand-in captains in Australia is becoming a norm now. A lot of drama on the field as well with Mickey Arthur and Shanaka, and what people have made out of it rather than what it is actually. So it was a brilliant day. It was a brilliant day. Let's just put it that way. Not did not watch a lot of England Pakistan, but I think we've got Nathan here, the Englishman, so I am pretty sure we're not lacking action there. So yeah, very good day. And if you're a MS Dhoni fan, I think that was a little bit of nostalgia in its own way. For Rahul Dravid, for people who admire Rahul Dravid, that was that moment when he came down to talk to Rahul Chahar and everything that followed after that, and Rahul Dravid's comments afterwards in the dugout, rather in the dressing room after the game. So nostalgic day, but tactically we got it right, and Sri Lankans didn't. So pretty good. That's a good comeback actually for us on the show to talk about something like this. To come back is brilliant in itself.
Yeah, I mean, just referring back to that match a little before we head on to, of course, England versus Pakistan, the decider of the T20 match. I'll come up with that to you, Nathan, of course. Before we go there, Anurag, it just shows a little bit of a lack of belief in the Sri Lankan team as well, because clearly, we heard commentators, we heard post match analysts as well talking about it yesterday. They've not been in a winning position for quite a long time, and you know because of that, probably being in that position with the squad that they were playing, to brave it all, I actually really admired the Sri Lankan spirit. I did feel that they probably missed a trick not bringing in Vanindu Hasaranga probably a little earlier. Maybe break that partnership of Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. But all in all, they gave the Indians a real scare. To be honest, I did not think India would have pulled it off yesterday. I'd actually given up hope, because I was thinking it's so embarrassing. It goes 1-1, and we've been talking about Sri Lanka not being at full strength and all of those things. But the Deepak Chahar pulled it off. Quite a stunning victory for India, and loads of heaps of maturity shown by the lower order, which we haven't said so by the Indian lower order in quite a long time, especially in white ball cricket. So you must be pleased with that, yeah, and would you want to offer some kind words for Mickey Arthur as well? He didn't look absolutely happy towards the end of it.
I mean, why would he be happy? I think just the way the entire second innings panned out. Imagine you were sitting comfortably in your chair, expecting your team to complete the win, which should have been an easy win, ideally on an ideal day. But then when you take out such a brilliant top order, although it's inexperienced, it's brilliant in terms of talent and quality. As far as talent and quality goes, you get all of those players so easily, and then you struggle with the tail end, which is like Indian cricket's last 6 years, which is exactly what happens to our bowlers. We take out the top order, we struggle with the bottom order, with the lower order. That's exactly what has been happening to us for a long period of time. It was good to see us at the other end of things. And I think we were also talking about it on Clubhouse yesterday. Yes, TSD is on Clubhouse. Please do follow us there as well. So yesterday we were talking there that, you know, had one more wicket fallen, had Bhuvaneshwar Kumar fallen, the next two people were Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav, who couldn't, with due respect to the brilliant bowlers they are, they can't bat to save their lives. It's a sad state, and the innings would have wrapped up in the next 5 minutes. Had one of them come out. So I think it was very very matured of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well to just lock up that one end. And the way Deepak Chahar, you know, he went about his entire innings. He started slow. He took his time. He There was a point when he was being very very selective, even to get his singles. He was being very very selective, which was lovely to see. uh, I just love the way he paced his entire knock. And also, I think Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, if you remember a few years back, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and MS Dhoni did something similar to the same side in the same stadium. Uh, it was lovely to see Bhuvaneshwar Kumar at the other end. This time, he was playing more of an anchor role. He's such a lovely cricketer. He's been getting a little bashed in the death overs. It's been a little sad to see, but let's see. I think we're gonna see a wholesale of changes for the third game is what I'm expecting. Maybe just give out some chances to the other people who are in the on the team. Um, very very pleased with the way things have panned out. And yes, and there is so much more cricket to talk about.
Absolutely, and I know that's a cue to go to Nathan, who's probably been having he's had a month to savor, if I would say, because it all started with the Euros, of course. England with their fantastic run to the finals, but and then again it's continued with the cricket. It's continued with the cricket. England seem to put out any goddamn team out there, and they end up doing the business. Against Pakistan, that especially that 3-0 ODI series victory was quite impressive. But talking about yesterday's match, I'll come on to the I'll come on to the English squad for the first two tests a bit later, Nathan. But just your reaction onto the match, because my takeaway from that is I respect the fact that England have this one approach that they need to go helter skelter for everything. But at one point yesterday, for no rhyme and reason, England had made it so difficult for themselves. Had that six from Liam Livingston not come at that time, had he miscued the first ball, just like what happened in the second ball, you guys would have been in real trouble, because I understand Liam Livingston is in a different zone these days. But on that pitch, no one could have just walked in and hit a six like he did. So that still remains a gamble, and you get more pitches like those in the UAE. You don't get Trent Bridges at the UAE or in the UAE. Sorry.
Well, the first thing is we actually beat them in their conditions in 30-degree heat, something that we're very, very not used to. And I think we're still suffering from it now. We're waiting for our karma winter days to come back. So that's the first thing, is taking those conditions. I did get a little bit confused at Morgan's pre-chat, after the toss. He goes, so this pitch is probably going to spin the most. So who've you dropped? We've dropped Parky. So you've dropped a spinner for a seamer on a pitch that you think is going to spin the most. That was a little bit confusing. I know I like Parky, but obviously de facto for spinner for a seamer in those conditions wasn't a great choice. But you mentioned obviously about our style of play. It's taken us where we are today from 2015. So I'm happy for us to take the positive options. I do get what you mean about Morgan in the last over. He should have just gone for maybe look for boundaries, but also if he ended up only getting singles, then so be it. And it's put pressure back onto them, because if he gets a 2, it's 4 or 5. And then obviously they have to sort of think singles more than just boundaries. But I'd rather take this super aggressive approach that we do these days than the pre-15 approach. So you can take that into account. It's led us, because obviously we're all building up to the World Cup, as much as Pakistan are one of those teams that they could be absolutely brilliant for 5 minutes and they can be the worst team for 5 minutes. I still think it was a good learning curve for the team of finding out Milan, because obviously I know he's number 1 ranked, but he's been shown to not be the best in Asian conditions, shall we call them. But also about other people to try and take us home. So looking at Livingston, I personally think he should have come in at 5, Morgan 6, Moen 7, Bairstow 4, because I can't remember which way around Bairstow and Ali came in now. But it was a good test. But the one thing I will say about, because I'm still building into World Cup, is we don't know our best 15. Never mind best 11. We don't know who we're going to miss out from the whole tournament, which worries me a little bit. So if you look at, obviously, I know it got a lot closer, the 2019 World Cup, but we knew our team pretty much from 1 to 11. Obviously, we had Jason Roy out injured, went backwards a little bit, if going into too much detail, but we don't know where we're going to put Bairstow, Morgan, Stokes. Is Milan going to play? How do we get Joffre back in the team? Because obviously he's a regular starter, but it's who comes out the team. Is Woke's going to be there? Who's going to bat 7? Curran, Livingston. So there's a lot of questions to answer for us still, but at least it's answering who to fit in rather than having to fit somebody in.
Absolutely, and you see that with the options. Something what Livingston really impresses me is the leg spin and the off spin that he switches off to. Whenever he's bowling to a player. We've got Sumit joining in as well, and of course Atul's joined in as well. Atul, I'll come to you. I'll take a few comments and I'll come to you right after that. Surya says the CEO is back. Yeah, man. He is. He is. Varun says, "Aaj sun east se aaya tha shayad." Anyway, welcome back, guys.
They're supposed to be west.
It does
Yeah,
come
it's
from
supposed to be
the
west. Yeah, but cool. It's always there. Guys, I would request if you could mute.
I just wanted to add one last thing. Imagine being told about Livingston. Imagine getting first class information about Liam Livingston.
Yes, fair play, Nathan. We've said both about Livingston and Parkinson. It's not just Livingston. You've been banging their drums for quite a long time, and let's see if we can actually see the both of them in the World Cup. I'm pretty sure now Livingston goes. I'm pretty sure he's just too useful a player to not be taken by this English team. I think eventually he should be able to force his way into the ODI setup as well, because once again, it's Moeen Ali whose position probably goes in the ODI setup if Livingston comes in. Because I think even yesterday, Adil Rashid, that knack of picking wickets, he was expensive, but he took like 4 wickets, right? So it's that's like 2 to 20 matches in one. So yeah, that's fantastic. Masoom says Shubman Gill is back at home after having been ruled out of the Test series. Yes, he is. The leg injury, it's unfortunate. He is. Masoom also says might miss the remainder of the IPL as well. I suppose Atul is not here. That is nice that he's not here to hear this. But yeah,
He's coming back soon.
Yeah, no Shubman Gill in the IPL would be a bit sad, for the rest of the IPL. But let's see. Let's hope he.
Atul bol raha hai, KKR, the only batsman that we have, is gone now. What's
It's
happening?
not me. It's Masoom saying he might miss the IPL. But
बेसिकली आवेश खान भी इंजर हो गए हैं, तो जरा डीसी वाले
Yes.
शांत रहे.
So are we
Avesh
hinting towards the captaincy going towards DK after all?
Ooh, that must be fun. Oh my god, that's fun.
That's a very long shot. But anyway,
Like the guy has like literally half
I think
given up
he's-
on cricket, is concentrating on
hasn't
commentary.
DK changed his profession now? Isn't he a
Yeah,
commentator?
and we are absolutely loving the commentator that he is, and I was being very careful with my words. Half given up. यार क्यों captaincy देखिए क्या, I mean his entire cricketing life he's always
I don't
lived
think
in hope for
I think
nothing.
captaincy
Yeah.
remains with Morgan, whatever that might happen, but it remains with Morgan anyway. Yeah, coming back, Siddharth also says, Deepak Dhoni in the house, boys. Yes, and Deepak Chahar is fantastic yesterday. And Varun says, thoda idhar udhar ho gaya. No worries, buddy. Masoom also says, update from Durham. Fast bowler Avish Khan sustained a blow to his left thumb. BCCI, all right. He might return to India soon as well. Isn't that wonderful? The 100 starts today, but can someone explain to me those rules? We'll, once I've spoken with Atul and Sumed, I'll probably circle back to Nathan. How excited is he for the 100? And how much?
Manchester
how much of it does he do?
Originals.
Yes, Manchester Originals. How, what is he hoping for? Is he hoping for a final or a semi-final berth for his team or not? Let's see. Jen, after watching it only, can you understand all the rules? Probably that'll be a nice experiment. You probably have to watch it. Yeah, all right. Jaldi khatam karna iska. We need a Sri Lanka all for nothing, all or nothing. Not it's not all for nothing. Just I guess he is probably joking.
That was the
No,
pun.
he's not. No, it's not a pun. It was a typo.
It wasn't.
It's all or nothing for Sri Lanka. But yeah. Right. Surya says now I can understand why Malan didn't play a single game for Punjab when Puran was getting those ducks. Kumble probably got it right. He probably did. I think I've been disappointed in David Malan. I think even when he's had the opportunities in the first 2 matches of the series, hasn't particularly set the world on fire. He'll probably loses number 1 ranking pretty soon to Babar Azam with the amount of T20 cricket Pakistan plays. So let's see. Bhuvi said
An Englishman disappointing an Indian.
There's nothing new in that.
Play till the last over. We want to take it as deep as possible so we can score runs. The only plan was we had to play till the last. The way Chahar batted was amazing. How many times has he said last? Just 2. All right. I felt like it was more. Some disturbing news. All right. Two Indian officials apparently have reported positive, which is
Next
sad.
pad, next pad.
Apparently, no cause for concern. Data was entered. God damn it! Why the hell? What is this setup? What is this setup? I ask.
I remember there was a news that came in when
Nonsense.
COVID had started
Anyway.
in India. Arogya Setu pe the kid was playing and the entire family got quarantined because he entered wrong buttons.
All right. We move. Hayden Walsh is the first ever leg spinner to take a 5-wicket haul for West Indies in an ODI. Previous best was Rajendra Dhanraj versus New Zealand at Guwahati in '94.
He
Rizwan has
seems
been
like
super.
someone from Hyderabad.
Rajendra
fine.
Dhanraj. Rizwan has been superb throughout the series. Yeah, at the start, I
Absolutely.
think in the ODIs he wasn't so good, but yeah, in the T20s he's been nice. Atul, coming back to you, man. We've had some good cricket. We've had some fantastic run chases yesterday for India and England. Generally talking about the whole scenario, building up to the Sri Lanka third ODI, any changes that you would like in the team?
Apologies to everyone watching. The only cricket I've watched in the last 2 to 3 days is basically Adil Rashid cotton bowled and Deepak Chahar winning runs. That's the only cricket I've watched in the last few days. But anyway, apart from it, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Like a sad life only, but
Just
never
caught
mind.
us by surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there'll be a question mark on Hardik Pandey if I'm not sure because he
There'll be a
didn't
question
score.
mark on you.
I think it's perfectly fine. I won't even justify it, but yeah, never mind. From all I've heard and watched on the social media and the highlights, I think they might give chance to someone else, but maybe pata nahi. Hardik Pandya ko they'll be preparing for the World Cup, so they'll let him play. But all in all, I'm still not sure because apart from it, I think everyone has been playing okay in that setup, in the ODI setup. Prithvi, like Rahul Dravid just needs to calm Prithvi Shaw down. Ki, bro, I know you can hit, but just play till 20th over. I know you'll win the match for us. Utne mein, like in the 20 or just play till the 20th over. But I think it is a good lineup, and I don't see any changes happening. Even if we've won the series, Dravid can tweak a few things like काफी लोग को ले गए. Maybe Devdutt Padikkal can get a chance. No, in the team itself. So let's see. Let's hope what's going to happen. And for England, I think they have battered Pakistan. See, I see Jason Roy batting. I like it. It's as simple as that. So, from what I read and from what I heard, he was phenomenal. And all in all, England performed really well. So yeah, that is that.
All right. I think. To be honest, okay. What is Atul? Did you by mistake get Ravi Shastri's package? What is this?
Shiv, yaar, come on.
Inside joke that I'm not a part of.
Yeah,
Come on,
Ravi
man.
Shastri's package, come on, Kushagra.
I know, but
Yeah.
like for what reason? He's just speaking calmly,
Yeah.
and as I say that, Nathan says boycott the 100. Okay,
Whoa.
Nathan. All right. I mean,
Not Manchester
the
United.
I just read today the ECB is planning to invest like a 328 million pounds over the next 10 years in this particular competition, and you're talking about boycotting it.
Kushagra, you know what the biggest irony is? The 100 starts tonight with the women's game, and then it starts tomorrow. And then at the same time, they're going to have this Royal London English, this 50-over championship that's going on. That's going to start at 3:30 tomorrow. So that match is going to happen. And then you're going to have the 100 game as well. So, I mean, I don't understand how
That's
teams are supposed
3:30
to.
in IST.
IST, yeah. So 3:30
Yeah, so
IST,
11,
we are going to
11
have
o'clock
the
local
Royal
time. Wow.
London Cup. And then at night at 11:30, I think we'll start with the 100 game. So I just don't understand how
Well,
this
I think that there isn't an overlap, no? Then there isn't
there isn't an
there
overlap.
isn't
But
really an
then
overlap.
again, what happens
They're
is
having two
basically
competitions at the same time, I suppose. I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
then
Like,
players utne hi na, I think they have to then give it to someone else. You'll play a
I
tournament
don't
which
know.
is with a weekend squad. I don't know what's going to happen with these
No
guys.
idea, Pratmesh. No idea. We leave.
I can clarify
Nathan,
this.
yeah.
So the 50-50 cup now is being treated as the reserve cup. So instead of having reserve matches, they're basically going to be your 50 over one, with the odd player that's going to be for who's not made the 100 playing that one. But overall, it's just going to be your reserves. The 100 has got a lot of fans against it. Like for myself, I enjoyed the T20, I enjoyed the 50, and I enjoyed the test as much as I like each other. We don't need a 4 format that's 20 balls shorter. We need to keep it 3 formats, and we get the best cricket in my view. So that's why I will not be watching the 100 whatsoever. Luckily, self-isolation ends today, so I can get out of the house and not watch it.
I mean, for the people who wanted to listen to the rules, one of the rules is that you're supposed to bowl. I think you're supposed to bowl the first 5 overs rather not the first 5 overs. They won't be called overs first of all. So they'll be called balls. So essentially, what happens is every set is 5 balls, and if the bowler is bowling well, the captain can decide that the bowler can bowl another 5 balls in a row. So that's one of the rules. So the bowler can bowl 10 balls at the time if he's bowling well. Yeah.
Hey, bull.
Another one rule is that if
captain can decide.
Ratmesh, can you start from the scratch again? Because
What?
if there is any
Kushag,
tournament in the world that is not given a
it's 10 balls every time.
Kushagra, it's basically, it's my bat, I'll go home.
There's actually one rule. There's actually one rule which I've pretty much liked. I mean, in all of these nonsensical rules apart, I think one rule that I genuinely liked was they've actually said that if you don't finish the first 5 overs in a certain amount of time, so that 5th fielder that you're allowed outside the circle after the power play is done, which is the first 20 balls, not 4 overs, 20 balls, you won't be allowed to keep that fielder out. You'll be only allowed 4 fielders. So as long as you can maintain the over rate, you're allowed to, rather the balls rate, you're actually allowed to keep the fielder outside. If you can't, that fielder, you're only allowed 4. Probably one way where you can reinvent how you're actually finding people for over rates, but I think other than that, it's messy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not on.
it sure is. I even after such an explanation, I think Pratmesh is stuck. His internet is causing issues. But
right from the start, I have not given an ounce of thought or concentration on the 100 completely. So till date, I'm totally oblivious to all the rules that are existing. Yeah, I know, but I know at least basic cricket. I've absolutely not concentrated a single time. I've not read one article relating to it. So can someone just explain me? I know there are some many users like me.
Sumit, all right, Sumit, and then Nathan, I guess.
Yeah, basically the 100, there are 10 balls. You can consider there are 10 balls for 1 over. There are 10 overs where 5 bowlers can bowl.
That's not the case. That's actually not the case.
Come on, let him finish. Let him finish.
It's just that, like how we play in gully cricket, mini over होता है तो 5 ball का mini over कर सकते हैं. It's just simply that. So everything that we do, it's a 10 over game with 10 balls each over, wherein mini over is allowed. That's the simplest explanation to how that happens.
Yeah, we used to give baby over to another. We used to take this baby over thing. We used to bring that into picture when one bowler is not doing well. Is that the case here also?
Yeah.
Or is it just?
No, okay, it's completely the case. That's the case. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it.
Nathan.
So next up, it'll be like if a player is misbehaving, yellow card, and the player goes out for 5 balls, 10 balls.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Just one last question on the 100 before we stop taking the Mickey out of it. But it's really out there to make fun of it. But yeah, what, Nathan? As in, how drunk do you have to be to think that 20 balls out of a T20 is fun? And what is this nonsense about a 10 ball over,
basically,
which is a ball?
Kushag,
yeah.
But just basically Nathan during the Euros final drunk.
I think prior to it, I think then it was more sorrow. I think it's the semi-final full-time whistle drunk. I think that's what it is. But coming back to it, Nathan, I mean it's First of all, I don't even get it. Okay, you want to promote T20 cricket, just play T20 cricket, bring in more stars from around the world. Just have your own, just reinvent the T20 blast. Surely the ICC is not going to look at the 100 as a format, are they? Or do you think this could also happen?
Well, I'm expecting a player to go to one of the umpires and go, umpire, what's this rule? Umpire goes, don't know, mate. Refers it up and you'll see on the big screen where you get like run out. Change of over. Get some. All I know is after 5 balls, they're showing a white card. I'm not really sure why, but a white card comes out after 5 deliveries. I have absolutely not a clue why. But you said about how drunk I could be. I've still not reached that drunk because I still think it's in a load of rubbish. So I don't think it's drunk that they did. I think they may have gone on to something a bit stronger. Just to top it all off, though, they might not like player of the match, so we're going to call it star of the match or whatever it's now called. All these fake new names. I won't mind seeing something like if they hit it out the ground like Livingston sticks, goes for a 12 instead of something daft. I'm expecting things like that to come out. That's a 12. So yeah, I don't really know the rules myself, so I might watch it to see if the umpires now.
I don't know, man. Like it's quite a fascinating format, but I suppose we'll stop dissing on it until we actually see it.
Is that a real thing? If the ball goes a certain distance, they give a 12. Is that true?
No.
Or is this just adding to it? Okay, fine.
He's saying it should be.
Thanks.
It should be. Because why not? Like if you're making so many changes, why not change that?
I expect it to be 1, but it's not 1.
If the fast bowler is knocking 2 stumps over, the next batsman should be out as well.
Anurag, have you ever seen that cricket format, the Hong Kong sixes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine? That sounds better.
Exactly. Like if you score more than 30 runs, you get retire hurt. So the next person can play. Proper gully cricket rules.
Yeah. सबको बैटिंग मिलनी चाहिए.
Absolutely.
I think it's institutional to get a 1 match ban. I mean, you're out twice in one game, so you can't play the game after. That'll be the new rule, not the next batsman's out. Can't discriminate against the new batsman. Anyway, back to series.
All right. That's enough. That's enough of the 100 chat. I think the comments have just gone on a different tangent since we started discussing the 100.
Well, let's talk about one last thing, Kushagra. If you get out when you're crossing, you can't actually cross for a catch. So basically, there is no crossing allowed for a catch.
English?
You have to return back.
Okay, lovely. I understood nothing out of it, but that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, basically, there is no strike change in a catch.
Yeah, there's no strike change when
lovely.
a catch happens.
How does the other person get on strike?
Was that really causing issues in our daily cricketing lives? Like fuck this dude, this guy changed.
It was only adding more masala. Like when a catch is taken in gully cricket, we keep arguing whether or not the.
So it's like baseball, isn't
crossed.
it, Anurag?
Yeah.
It's like baseball.
Yeah.
You hit
Precisely,
it, you get caught. Everyone has to return to back wherever they were earlier. I mean,
Right.
Back to the basis. Yep.
But yeah, back to the basis. I'll take a few comments. I'll come to you, Sumit.
There are some fabulous comments. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come to you right after that. Rules of the 100. Masoom is also having a go. Power plays 25 balls, maximum 2 fielders outside the circle, no ball, 2 runs. All right. Ends will change after 10 balls. Bowler to bowl either 5/10 consecutive. This is the most stupendous thing I find about the 100. It's like, all right, okay, it's either 5 or 10. Like I can do whatever the hell I want. Never in cricket's history have we had 10 ball overs.
It's based on opinion, basically.
Kushag, it's like basically, ये करेगा. Kara.
Yeah, it really is, bro. I will come to this. The other day, Pratmesh was explaining the rules of the 100 to me. I couldn't sleep for 3 days. Says Shiv.
Yeah, I mean, Shiv was astonished to the core that day. I remember that.
Max balls per bowler 20, max foreign players per team 3. Match will last for 2.5 hours. Okay, so they're more interested in the timing. I mean, time restrictions of the format.
India को
Sanjay
खिलाफ
Leela
slow over rate
Bhansali's
के साथ
movies
वापस
last
होगा.
longer, man.
Sorry, couldn't hear either of you.
Precisely.
Yeah. Prathamesh, go first. Yeah.
I just said Sanjay Leela Bhansali's movies last longer than 2.5 hours.
I mean, of course.
I was saying if the international teams played, the over rate is again going to be an issue, and it will extend to 3.54 hours.
3.5. 8 captains played more than 200 matches. Among them, only in Azhar's captaincy, team never scored below 100 runs. All right. That came out of nowhere. But thanks, Masum.
Yeah.
Isn't the T20 Blast also going on? How many tournaments at the same time? It's not going on. I think it starts in September.
It's going on.
It's on right now.
It's going on, and now they've paused. And after the 100, there will be the knockout stages.
All right.
So like the league stages is done.
Lancashire have made the quarterfinals. It literally is about.
That's the only news. That's the only news. That Lancashire did the first.
The 100 finishes Saturday, the 21st of August. Then I can't remember if it's the Wednesday after or the Thursday after. The quarterfinals of the T20 Blast restarts, and God knows when finals day is.
I know we are far, but why is our audio taking so long to reach England?
Not every. I thought we had one thing in common. We all have dodgy internets. I thought that was part of the ways to get into this.
I'm shocked Nathan hasn't talked about Harry Brook yet.
All right. Shiv says, "Bhai, rehne do na." Yeah, bro. We're just about done with it now. Only knockout remains next month, as Nathan also told us. Thank you, Masoom. अरे मेरी गली में बेबी ओवर करके होता है उधर से चुरा. Yeah, exactly. So Nathan, we've got this concept of a baby over, which is basically
Vitality Blast. Basically, Vitality Blast said that IPL had a break. We should have one as well, like in solidarity for India.
Yeah, of course. Erling Haaland. I don't know. But all right, Rege. Keep hoping.
It's his birthday today, by the way. Yeah.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, it's Erling Haaland's birthday today, and he's hoping that Haaland joins Chelsea. Let's see. Mini over. Rutraj Gaikwad OP. Pratmesh बहुत डाला है mini over due to his beamers. Yes. So Pratmesh.
For some reason, I can totally imagine, and it seems true.
Underarm bouncers. So that's probably why one of the reasons a lot of mini overs were contributing.
Shiv says they wanted to promote football in England, so they started the 100. I don't think they need to promote, but yeah, I think you could promote literally. I think they wanted to promote the Olympics or something. Rege says, I think it's because calling it 100 sounds better than calling it 120. Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
100. Yeah. I don't know, Nathan. If you've seen Takeshi's Castle, have you seen Takeshi's Castle? He has. So you know what Rege says. So he would rather watch Takeshi's
Does
Castle.
Martin Tyler do the commentary for that?
Yeah.
No, bro, come on.
Dude, no. There are two different things, Kushag. There's one is Takeshi's Castle, and another is Takeshi's Castle with Javed Jaffrey's commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
those
of course,
are different
he won't get the
emotions.
Javed Jaffrey.
Yeah, he won't get the
right?
other one.
Absolutely not.
So,
Yeah.
अगर 2.5 inches से ज़्यादा spin हुआ तो he's like if it spins more than 2.5 inches, then they'll cut 5 runs. All right. Prakash says bowler बेचारे फंस जा रहे बॉल डाल के उसके लिए एक बॉल निकाल दिया कूल बनने के लिए और जिनका ईगो हर्ट हुआ तो तुम 10 बॉलर. I'm not even going to translate that, but all right. Yeah, Nathan, you're saying something?
It was just back on the spin comment. I saw yesterday Parkinson has spun the ball 0.7 degrees more than Shane Warne in the ODI cricket. And he's actually the most since 2006 at 4.7. It's just because you mentioned spin, it came to me then that actually Parkinson's spun the ball the most. Not bad for an English guy. And he didn't even get to play on the spinning pitch yesterday.
Yeah, I
Nathan just needs a
think
reason.
you guys could have wrapped up Pakistan even easier had Parkinson played, because Pakistan strangely are not being able to cope up against spin. They weren't particularly good against Moeen Ali. They were really bad against Adil Rashid. They scored a few
But
runs.
KD, I think there is one area I think we must give that credit where it's due to Nathan. All that hype for Livingstone, or maybe not for Livingstone, but all that hype for Parkinson. I mean, I must say, I was, I genuinely thought you were overhyping him. But boy, that guy is really, really talented. The way he spins the ball, he's really, really good.
I think sometimes, especially when you like a player, you sometimes forget he's learning. So someone like Parkinson's, 23, 24, might be even younger. So he is learning to play in international cricket, and obviously the players that play for an Asian team have got a lot more practice against spin. So the fact he can get figures of 1 for 25 or 4 or things like that is just a credit to the guy for being at such a young age. He will have figures 1 for 50 or none for 50.
How is he with the red ball?
This season he started off on a house on fire. He missed the first game because he'd been touring with England all summer. And obviously didn't play. But by the fourth game, he was in the top 3 wicket takers of the league with something like 20 wickets in 3 games. I can't remember too much after that because there was a lot of rain with our, surprise. There's a lot of rain for about 4 or 5 games, so he didn't really get much action after that. But it's a start. I think he's quite a bit away from red ball cricket. I think Jack Leach is more consistent, and that's probably the type of spinner England need more than an out-and-out wicket taker that might go for 5 runs and over, but pick up wickets. But I still think there's a chance, realistically, in 2 to 3 years' time. But if he's now second choice to Adil Rashid in the ODI cricket, and with the absolute hectic schedules, I'm just a bit concerned he might miss out on a bit of county championship, so might not play Test cricket overall. But I think he will get in the England ODI squad very, very soon. It's a bit different for England to have 2 spinners. We barely have 1 usually.
No, I'm pretty sure you guys are really happy with the quota of spinners that you guys have currently, and she should really be utilizing them very well. I'll take a few comments. I've not gotten to Sumedh yet. I'll come to you right after that, man. Rege says, love to see Anurag and his audio in one room, of course.
Lovely to see Siddharth Rege not in the room.
Yeah. The England men lost only 2 out of their last 12, 3 out of the last 12 T20I series with more than 1 match. They are they're all versus India. All right, but 2 of them were in India, if I'm not wrong. I think 17 and 21 would be India, and 18 would be England. Najeevan says, Hamid opening the batting against India played a brilliant 112-run knock today. Yes, he did. He did score a century. Hasib Hamid seems to love playing against India. So let's see. He might actually get the nod. I don't think either of Rory Burns and I think Dom Sibley opens, right? So I don't know. I think a couple of failures. You might see Hamid coming in. James Ryu making his first-class debut at the age of 17 is the first ever wicketkeeper to dismiss Pujara stumped in first-class cricket before he reached his century. All right, fantastic stat for the young James Ryu. 17 years, damn, he's so young. Only other time Pujara was stumped was in 2012 off Matt Pryor. So he's got a thing with the Englishman, right? Getting stumped with the Englishman. So okay, fair enough. Masoom also says Rizwan is now the most 50+ scores by a Pakistani player in T20Is in a year. That is 7, overtaking Babar Azam. He's got a lot of T20 cricket left this year. Masoom also says India versus Sri Lanka bilateral series across formats since 2008 series. In 118 drawn 2. This is the first ever streak of 20 consecutive series for India. All right, I mean, it's a bit sad also where Sri Lankan cricket is currently. So won't want to keep on banging that one drum, but yeah, he's been. KL Rahul has to play. Rege says, yeah, I mean, he's been fantastic form. He should play, hopefully. Vijay says, finally Hamid makes a comeback. Yes, it's been 5 years. I think he was there. He was part of the extended squad versus New Zealand as well as a cover, but didn't get a match. Let's see whether he gets one against the Indians. Sumit, coming back to you, there was something right at the beginning that we saw. We saw the squad for the English team that was announced. I'll just put it out again so that people who've joined us now can have a look. Root as the captain, of course. Anderson, Bairstow, Best, Broad, Burns, Butler, Crawley, Curran, Hamid, Lawrence, Leach, Pope, Robinson, Sibley, Stokes, and Wood. Looking at the squad, looks an extremely competent squad heading into the Test series. Most of these players are currently probably playing the white ball series. If not, a lot of them will be playing the 100. People have had miles under them in the New Zealand series as well. How do you think this particular series is shaping up? We've had these struggles on the top order. Yesterday, also in the practice match, we saw Rohit Sharma getting out quite easily. Mayank Agarwal playing well to begin with, and then that typical concept of a gap between bat and pad and ball sneaking through. You had other wickets of Hanuma Vihari and Chiteshwar Pujara, getting out cheaply. Once again, we had to rely on our number 6 and number 7, or number 5 and number 6 to actually bail us out. And as Atul is looking at us knowingly, knowing that in the end it's going to be Pant and Jadeja who are going to keep saving our backsides. How long? So do we now add KL Rahul to those two just to give them?
Isn't Pant COVID positive?
Yeah, but I think Pant his isolation period is done now.
Yeah, he's negative and he's back.
Yeah, he's tested negative and he's back, I think, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, so maybe.
Yeah. So just an interesting fact. I think KL Rahul now is the highest scorer for the last 2 innings that India has played in England in first class cricket. If I'm not wrong, the last test in that India played, the 5th test in 2018, KL Rahul scored 149.
Does this get counted as first class?
Yes, it is a first class game.
It does.
So so I think India, this is the second consecutive 100 for KL Rahul in a first class game in England, and that is something which will come handy for India given that Shubman Gill is not there.
That's why they called it the 100.
So I think that is gonna help India, at least with Rohit and with Mayank not giving as many runs. I think KL Rahul is the preferred opening choice right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if India go with him as the first choice opener. So and even later on, I think we would be highly interested to see how the second practice game goes, because there would be Ajinkya Rahane in there, Virat Kohli in there, Rishabh Pant in there. The 3 batsmen I think India will be most relying upon after Pujara, of course. But Pujara, as we have seen, is not the best when it comes to England conditions. So Rahane, Kohli and Pant are going to be critical, and that is where the second practice game comes into picture. Also, given that the kind of squad that England has built, I was a little skeptical initially if England was tempted to make somebody rest with the T20 World Cup in mind. But I'm extremely happy that that's not been the case. Archer's injured, but other than that, everybody else we would want in a team is there. And also, as Nathan said, if the first 2 games are not quite good, then Hasib Abid comes into the team as well, and that can be a headache for India. Just the one other thing that I want to look at is how the Indians approach the tail. As long as the practice match is concerned, I think they have done enough inroads. They are 8 down right now, the Englishmen. So then that's a good thing if India could manage. But also the other surprise is the bowler who has come to the fore is Umesh Yadav and not Jasprit Bumrah or Mohammad Siraj. That is going to be a serious knock on the door for the selectors, considering India's third seaman option is still open. So Umesh Yadav versus Siraj is now a great battle to look forward to. And yeah, overall, I think it's been a good enough week for Indian cricket. The 2 games that they have won against Sri Lanka have stamped enough authority. I read somewhere wherein it talked about how Deepak Chahar could be the Hardik Pandya that India was looking for, but that I think is still a very far-fetched opinion. It's just it's Sri Lankan bowling, with no disrespect. It's not at its best right now. So it would only be unfair on Pandya to say that. Just one other thing that I want to mention is Indians have been like Shikhar Dhawan especially. I'm sure it's been a part of a plan. But Hardik Pandya in the first game bowled 5 overs and in the second game bowled 4 overs. That is exactly what we need from him in the T20 World Cup. We don't mind if he doesn't pick up a wicket as long as he's economical, under 8 runs per over perhaps, and as long as he bowls those 4 overs consistently, it allows us the leisure to play an extra batsman, which is going to be very, very critical given how the Indian top order can be at times. So yes, overall, I think we have shaped very well, and I'm really looking forward to this next 1.5 month, and the next 15 days to the build up to the Test series as well.
All right, fair enough. There are a few comments. I'll come to them, and I'll post that. I'll start with the final comments. I'll start with you, Nathan, right after that. Hidden Walsh Prakash says is also one player to look out for in the World Cup. Yeah, he's performed tremendously well for the West Indies against Australia. Even in a lost cause, we lost cause last night as well, or today morning for us. He picked up a fiver, which was, as we read in the comments, is the first fiver ever for West Indies in ODI cricket. So it's fantastic. Kalyan's back. Welcome, buddy. Nathan's favorite, Bairstow is in the squad. Hope he plays to infuriate Nathan. I think Bairstow is fine in English conditions, isn't he, Nathan?
You mean he's fine with leaving a gap between his bat and pad and getting bowled? Best conditions for him.
Come on.
I was waiting. I have a collage from Nathan.
He said a lot. Yeah, let's see, Bairstow. I don't know. I think Butler keeps. I don't think Bairstow plays. Let's see what happens. This is the second time in 4 months the Siraj has denied Sundar some runs. Yeah, he has. Second time. Heard Shubman head back to. Yeah, he has gotten back to India because of the injury. Masoom has confirmed that. Third consecutive overall 100 for KL. If you consider the intra squad. He's been in fine form in England. County 11, 229 for 9 at the end of the day. All right, 220 for 9. So they should be able to get that wicket early in the morning, hopefully.
Isn't that the game considering Avesh Khan won't bat? I'm not sure. Isn't that the innings?
Oh yeah, I think that should
Avesh Khan won't bat. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, they might. Since they replaced Avesh Khan. Couldn't they just replace Avesh Khan considering Avesh and Akshar were anyway put in? So Avesh and Washington were anyway put in.
No, I think Avesh and Washington were put in just because there was no other Englishman to be replaced by them. So, because there were some other county commitments and COVID-related issues, the two players were not available at all, and that is why they were replaced. So, I don't think he's coming back in. So, probably should be the end of the innings.
All right, fair enough. Umesh was bowling. Umesh and Siraj should start in the 11. He was bowling beautifully today. Yeah, I think both Siraj and Umesh. Personally, I've been a bit disappointed in Jasprit Bumrah. He wasn't particularly great versus the New Zealand versus the Kiwis as well. Don't know how he's shaping up for this match. We are yet to see Mohammad Shami play in these conditions once again. So let's see. I think Shami definitely plays, and it could be any two of these three, or maybe Ishant Sharma. We're not counting him out because the team management seems to depend very heavily on Ishant when it comes to away tours. By the way, Sheikh says, hello guys, long time, was busy with work, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining in, Sheikh. We've also not been live for quite a long time. This is after quite a break of over a month and a half that we're back. But yeah, as you said, as I say so, I head to the final comments. Nathan, just a bit onto the squad that's been announced for the English. I'm assuming now that you're not really particularly following the 100. It's as a cricket fan, all eyes on the India tour now.
Well, I'm a little bit worried about the India tour with the weather that we've had. It feels like we're playing in India, not in England. Especially as you're probably going to play Jadeja at 7, Ashwin 8, and 3 seamers. I'm hoping for a bit.
Why are you worried about the weather?
Right, we've been getting 30 odd degrees. We're all dying. It's been last 4 or 5 days minimum 30 odd degrees throughout the day. Like if you just put your hand on the ground, it's like 3-degree burns on your hand. So I'm hoping for a bit.
Nathan, it's raining cats and dogs here where I am, and it's still more than 30 degrees here.
They must feel like the sun is like right on their head.
Well, I want some rain so we can have a bit more moist in the pitch for the England bowlers. Because I don't think Jack Leach is going to bowl Ashwin on a spinning deck. So I'm hoping for a bit of rain just before it and a few clouds for my mate Jimmy. I personally my birthday's the Monday and we start on the Wednesday. And I personally will start Hasim Mohammed opening with Rory Burns. I'll keep Sibley on the bench, especially after his 100 today. But apart from obviously the weather, I'm confident we could beat you 4-1. With a couple of, I think over-reflect it, but I think there'll be a couple of close games that we just take. There'll be 1 or 2 games we'll probably beat you, absolutely stuff you out of the game. You'll get a raggy win, and there'll be 2 games for me that'll be quite close. And I think we'll just take them. So I think the scoreline might over-reflect England, but I just think we'll just take it on 2 of them.
So it's basically a repeat of the 2018 series is what you're talking about, isn't it? So yeah, all right, fair enough. And as I mentioned about the lives, of course, we'll be live Monday to Friday, going ahead, and that's going to be the schedule. We're, of course, going to follow the Indian cricket team as we always do. We're looking forward to the third ODI match, see if any new faces get a chance there as well. But talking about the final comments, coming to you now, Atul, it's a long how would I say, it's not just of course the test series in England, but it's also the World Cup, but if you look at primarily the test series and KL Rahul debate, would you drop someone like I know I don't even know how am I saying this, but someone like a Pujara or Rahane?
तलवार लटका दी मेरे ऊपर.
और क्या यार, बिल्कुल बनती तो है.
I think KL will sit. If it comes down to like dropping Pujara and Rahane, India don't have that much courage, I feel, to drop both of those players. So all in all, personally, I feel KL will have to again sacrifice his position in the team just because some blunt decisions can't be made, or maybe KL gets the nod because Gill isn't there. That's the only thing, the other thing that can happen. And Mayank sits. If they want KL to play, that's it. Otherwise, I think Pujara and Rahane aren't going to sit. I think that will be the final thing for the England series. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I'll come to you now, Pratnesh. Maybe we've had enough of a discussion around this particular England series, but let's come to it when we get to it. Actually, we've got 4 international matches for the country before that. So, talking about the rest of the series, a little bit of a concern in the Indian batting order, the way they got out yesterday. Few casual shots. I agree. Prithvi Shaw and Ishan Kishan ka apna game hai. So of course they'll play in that manner and probably not get blasted for it. But the way Hardik Pandya got out, the way Shikhar Dhawan got out, Surya Kumar, you looked fantastic, and wo achhi delivery thi from Sandakan, which got him probably. But still, Krunal did not look comfortable against the short ball at all. Run ही नहीं बन रहे थे short ball पे, literally all he was doing was dropping his hands on it. So there are chinks in this particular batting lineup, and Sri Lankans can probably target things that that might trouble the Indians.
Again, I totally do not totally agree with the fact that just because Ishan Kishan and Prithvi Shaw play the way they do, they should be playing the way they do, because it was reckless what happened yesterday. For many people it's brave, and I think it is brave the way Ishan Kishan went after the very first delivery he played in ODI cricket. It was really brave how he played the entire innings and how Prithvi Shaw played the entire innings last time out. But I think there was significant difference both of them, when they played the first ODI, they were playing normal cricketing shots. They were playing the ball on its merit. Second ODI, they tried to hit, possibly every ball to the boundary. And I think that's the biggest difference, and that's where Rahul Dravid probably comes in as well. I think he'll probably, get these guys in a room and tell them, the way it is supposed to be told, rather. So, not worried about that. Exceptionally worried about the fact that Hardik Pandya is playing the way he is, because this is not just something that we've seen in the last couple of months. It's been for quite some time that Hardik Pandya has been, very poor with his performance with the bat. It's been after Australia that he hasn't really got his nick with the bat at all. And Krunal, yes, short stuff. He looked like he just wanted to get out of there and try to be at the non-strikers and just see what happens. He genuinely didn't want to take it on, and I think, in a way, I think he tried to play it in a different way. He played some good shots at where and had the fielder, so not very worried about Krunal Pandya. So yeah, I think we can make certain changes. Like you can have someone like a Devdutt Padikkal come in for a game. Possibly not drop Prithvi Shaw, because that would be again one of those moments where you make a player lose his confidence yet again. You could see someone like I think apart from that, I don't think we'll see Ruturaj Gaikwad anytime soon. I think it's a good tour for him, but I don't think we're seeing him play right now. But I would like to see Rahul Chahar come in, for Yuzvendra Chahal. I think Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav worked well, and I hope they play at least a couple of T20Is, if nothing else. But I think I would like to see how Rahul Chahar does, how Varun Chakravarti does when he's given 10 overs instead of just 4. So that would be interesting to see as well. So yeah, it's a good thing that we have these players, and as Rahul Dravid said, sabko mauka milega, in a way. That's what he said, right? So really looking forward to that, and should be an interesting tour. I think one thing that it taught us yesterday was that we can't take the Sri Lankans for granted. They are capable of producing a fight in their own ranks. So, massive. It's a good series now. It's fairly poised, and I think the T20 series should be equally fun. But yeah, I think I still rate our chances pretty good in this series.
All right. When it comes to you talking about people getting chances, I think you're right there. Even though we would hope, even though we've heard Rahul Dravid's statement about everyone does get a chance under him and everything like that, I think Kulcha get a chance in all the 3 matches, as they should. They've missed out a lot, so probably a little tough for Rahul Chahar. I'm sure Rege will be crying in his blanket right now as I say this, but bit tough for Rahul Chahar or Varun Chakravarti to get a game. Probably both of them get a game in the T20 series. Maybe Kulcha is broken up there, and then maybe a Devdutt comes in. Maybe Shikhar, rotates in one of the matches. Maybe they might experiment a little bit.
I doubt Shikhar will rotate in the T20s though. I think that's where he actually wants to be.
His partners. Shikhar rotates his partners. That's what
maybe that happens. Yeah.
Ek match mein Prithvi, dusre mein DDP, something like that.
I think a lot will also depend on what the Indian team senior management also wants, right? Maybe they want to see certain players play all 6 games because they want to see how they perform. So I think a lot will depend on what comes from Virat Kohli, Ravi Shastri, and all of these guys, to see which players actually play all 6 games, which players are given the chance. So in that sense, it doesn't look like Varun Chakravarti, Rahul Chahar still look more likely than someone like I think Devdutt Padikkal. It looks really. It seems very soon for him to be considered anyway.
All right. Sumit, I'll come to you, buddy. Any final comments from your end for whether it's the Sri Lanka series or any other cricket that's been going on?
With the Sri Lanka series, I think India has done fine. I don't think they are going to change much. With the T20s, maybe Rahul Chahar can get in, or Varun Chakravarti. Because with ODI, the thing with Varun Chakravarti is his fitness. I'm not sure if he can last for all those 50 overs in the field. So that is a concern, and I don't think there is a need either. If India is looking at the 2023 World Cup or any series that they are going to play, I think Kulcha is still the best bowling options, and they both should play another ODI at least. T20s maybe you can rotate, and that's a call for the later. With respect to the practice games, I think I'm looking forward to the second one. And other cricket that is around, I am genuinely hoping West Indies put a miracle against Australia and somehow at least make one victory, because I mean they are like chalk and cheese, the West Indies ODI team and the T20 team. I mean they are completely two different teams altogether. The one that T20 has the played in, they looked certain of their title defense. What a perfect team that is. If there's anyone, any kind of role that we want in a T20 team, West Indies has not one but two options for a certain role, and that is something which every team will be wary of. As a complete contrast on the ODI side, they are probably the most inexperienced of all, and that is something that they will look after. That is one thing that I'm greatly looking forward to in the coming week. And but overall, I feel happy that at least there is a lot of cricket that is happening around, be it the domestic ones or the franchise cricket or the international cricket. So happy days for a cricket fan.
All right, all right. Anurag, just a request from my end to you. As you give your final comments and final thoughts, I really have to push. If you could
Yep.
also do me a favor and read the final few comments as well, I'll just lead you to the last comment that I've taken. Thank you
Yep.
so much to everyone for joining in. We will be live. I repeat once again, Monday to Friday, or throughout the week in the coming weeks as well. If there's a match on the weekend, we'll find a way. We are also there on Clubhouse along with the other socials, so do follow us there. This was the last comment that I had to take. Bye bye, guys. See you.
Kitna der bolega? Yeah, fine. Now that KD is gone, we're just into the final few minutes. I'll just take the comments and say bye. One of Navjeevan says one of the county players got injured while the other was in close contact with the COVID case. Thus, India lent Sundar and Avesh. That's not a great thing to listen to, but let's hope things pan out well. Most innings bowled, but never picked. Most innings bowled, but never picked a fifer in Test. Sachin 145. In ODIs, it's Shoaib Malik. In T20Is, it's Shahid Afridi. All formats, it's Muhammad Hafiz. Wow. Yeah, I mean, all of them are pretty decent bowlers at one point. Like, okay, fine. Chalo.
Yeah.
I'm calling Shahid Afridi a pretty decent bowler. Wow. Uh, KL Rahul, he is the master of all trades. Looks like we might even see him bowl two in near future. That's the problem with KL Rahul, and that's what I've been feeling very bad about KL Rahul over the last few years. It's been 4 or 5 years since he's been in the Indian squad, but he's still figuring out
Yeah.
what is his role. I know sometimes it takes time, and with the amount of competition that's existing right now, it's quite understandable. But KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya, their current situations frustrate me very much. Unfortunate, but what can we do about it? The current warm-up lineup looks fine, I guess. Should go with the same against England.
Without Ajinkya
Fair
Rahane,
enough.
without
I
Virat
mean,
Kohli. Yeah.
yeah, there
We
isn't. Yeah, exactly. I was actually taking it seriously, lol. Uh, without Kohli, Ash, I actually
Yeah.
forgot Virat Kohli wasn't there. Uh, this series might start the downfall of Hardik Pandya. He looks
Ooh.
wasted. अरे मार्केट करोड़पति ऐसे predictions करोगे तो कैसे बनोगे करोड़पति मतलब I genuinely don't think that is the case, but let's see. Umesh
God
Yadav,
damn.
yes, Umesh Yadav has been. I think that's one of the things that we've written in the caption of our YouTube video that Umesh Yadav got us after a fabulous, fabulous start. But then
Yeah.
Hasib Hamid took care of the innings. He's been batting brilliantly. Vijay adds, though the scoreline read 4-1 last time, the domination was mostly from India 60-40. It was India not able to capitalize on few of crucial moments that made the difference. Vijay,
That's
tell
what
me one thing:
counts actually.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
I mean,
care
no one cares.
who dominated? I'll be honest. In the 2018 World Cup final, Croatia looked far better than France. Does
Yeah.
anyone care? Does the scoreline say anything? But it was only
Yeah.
they just had possession. They did nothing. They did shit. Exactly. I
Yeah.
think
Celtic
Atul is
Barcelona.
just trust.
Barca had 80% possession, lost 2-0.
ये चला जाएगा किधर तो. This time my prediction is 3-2 or 2-2 a draw. Let's see. I mean, see when यार मतलब यार
फर्स्ट डे
अपने
बैक
अपने
किया वो
तरफ से
सुपर चैट.
पैसे मिल रहे, परसों से ओलंपिक्स चालू हो रहे हैं, सब देख लेना. दैट्स व्हाट मनीष इज पेइंग फॉर. एंड नाउ यू कैन
Yeah.
अंडरस्टैंड हाउ मच ऑफ Indian sports lover Manish is. He's literally paying, I wouldn't say his own channel, but a channel he's invested his time in for so long. एंड वो उधर ही फिर से 40 रुपए दे रहा है भाई. घूम फिर के अपने पास ही आएगा वो पैसा. बट थैंक यू
The
सो मच.
problem is though.
If you had given it 40 rupees directly to me, it would have stayed with us black. But right now, we're also paying YouTube. So it's fine. I mean, galtiyan ho jati hai, but thank you so much, Manish. Yes, please keep watching the Olympics. I know the Olympics
Yes.
are happening under incredibly difficult circumstances. Our Indian contingent has gone there. They've reached. There was a little bit of scare in the comments which Masoom provided, but as it turns out, there was nothing which was provided.
Sai Praneeth posted a picture with Novak Djokovic, and he looked really happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're posing with the 20 time Grand Slam winner, you should be happy in that. Yes, it's going to be great. Let's see. And also, I think in the Olympics this time, if I'm not wrong, in tennis history, only Steffi Graf has won the golden slam of 4 Grand Slams and the Olympic gold in the same year. And right now, as much as I don't like saying it, but Novak Djokovic is definitely in contention for that, the way he's playing. Let's see what happens there. After spending 8 out of his mandated 10 days in quarantine, Nepal and Oval Invincibles leg spinner Sandeep Lamchane was told that his visa was not valid and then he had to leave the country as soon as possible. Yes, yeah, I've heard that news. That's quite sad. South Africa quick Marizan Cap balls the first ball of the 100. The new kid on the block in Cricket Town. Cap's compatriot Lizzie Lee is the first batter to take strike in competition. Yes, it's both the South Africans are starting off. It's no strange thing because when the New Zealanders can win them a World Cup, yeah, obviously the South African kid started.
It's basically where they end up after they're not selected in their home country.
Precisely. And Cap bowls 10 in a row to start off. Thank you Masoom, but I absolutely couldn't care less. ऋतुराज टेंशन ना ले, 3rd ओडीआई में डेब्यू मिलेगा, नहीं तो T20 में तो पक्का मिलेगा. हाँ, ऋतुराज को तो कोई परेशान नहीं है. मतलब अच्छा खासा मतलब बैकग्राउंड बना के आज he's come in. He doesn't really look worried or sad about not getting a place in the team as it stands. उसको मिल जाएगा, मतलब talent बहुत है. So thank you so much guys for joining. A big thank you to Kushagra and Nathan as well. As KD has already mentioned, we have been a little inactive in the last few days, but we are back with the Cricket Daily Live. We'll be live every day from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. Weekend पे अगर कुछ वीडियो बनाएंगे तो मिल जाएगा आपको. मतलब let's see what happens. Thank you so much for joining. Atul, Sumed and Prathamesh. Everyone have a good night. Thank you so much.